Hello, we're here again for the Coach Johnny Ringo Show, Plano East Football. I'm Chris Ferris with the Plano ISD Athletic Office, and we thank Reggie Pugh again for putting these on for us. Coach, it's always fun to get together after a ball game, even better when you got a big win like you did Friday night, and 60-38 over Garland, Naaman Forest. And Coach, I pulled up a few things off the box score, and 95 points in 2 games. Offense is just reeling it out a little bit, aren't they?
Well, we've had our moments, you bet, and that's been the key thing right now. We've had some guys play really well. We just had, I think we mentioned last week, 15 returning lettermen, and just really 2 starters offensively, and Cody Verholst and Colin Shaw. And we missed Cody the first week. Glad to have him back, and did a great job blocking the other night, and had 1 reception. And of course, Colin Shaw has been huge in the first 2 games, and had 9 catches against Garland. And this past week, I think he had 4 or 5, and it was doubled most of the night. They had double coverage on him, and so those 2 guys have been huge. But then we've seen guys, Chris, that from our JV last year that have stepped up and been tremendous. Ricky Eladanya at running back, Mario Smalls at quarterback, and some of our linemen that are young, that are juniors. And so we're still young at some positions, but to this point, it's been great. We have been very effective offensively. Averaging 47 points a game, I think, like you said, or a little bit over that. And but we've got to get better. There's things we can still do better.
Well, and there always is, and I'll just throw out a couple of things here that really jump out and let you comment on them. 706 total yards of offense. It's not bad.
Not bad. You're right.
52 rushes for 418 yards rushing. Not bad either. 288 yards passing, but the one thing about that, and I know you're proud of this, no interceptions.
Right.
And then not to mention no turnovers for the ball game.
Right.
So I've got to think when you can put up those kind of numbers, but most importantly, no interceptions, no turnovers, no fumbles. This early in the year, second game of the year, you're just, you're right where you want to be. That's something you seem to be working through all year.
Well, it is. I think last year at this time, or not this time last year, but when end of the year against versus Southlake, we were +2 in turnovers for the whole year, and which is still okay. But you'd rather be in the double digits, and we're already at +2 after 2 games, and so not fantastic, but yet we're staying above the opponent as far as the turnovers go. So that is critical that Mario protect the ball like he's done, and no fumbles from our running backs. That's huge. And so there's just been a lot of great things that have happened offensively, and that's key. You've got to have a great offense, and if you have a side of the ball that's struggling, the other side picks them up. That's why it's a team game. And so our offense has done a good job the past 2 weeks, and very proud of those guys and Coach Humble and our offensive staff.
And not to leave out the defense, I know the defense did recover a fumble. Like you said, helped you be in the positive there on the turnover ratio. I'll speak about a few guys offensively here in a minute, but defensively, what can you talk about as far as the game was Friday night?
Well, they did a lot of good things. We had some key stops in the game, just like against Garland. There were huge fourth down stops and stops that were critical in not allowing Garland 2 weeks ago back in the game. And the same thing here. We had some breakdowns the other night, but when that occurs, it's tough to be a defensive coach in today's world. It's the offenses that we face and the talent that we face each and every week. And they had some great players. They had a great player quarterback, wide receiver. They just had some guys that could go and do some things. Great running back that was, I think, a 1,300-yard rusher last year for Naaman Forest. And so, those present problems for you defensively. And we talk about run fits all the time and where people need to be at the snap of the ball, based on what their gap assignment is. And if that doesn't hold true, if you have a breakdown, then you can take a guy that'll have great speed and that can present issues for you. And that's what you saw some of the other night. But we allowed them to score the first play of the game, and really at one point in the game at 17-16 they're ahead, and then we kind of go on a run and start to take control of the game a bit, and we allow them to come back in on us a little bit late there in the fourth quarter. But really proud of our kids and coaches again. And right now we're just trying to find pieces to the puzzle at every position. If we can get the best 11 on the field, and we still have some questions about some of our guys. And all the kids are doing a great job, but we just it's our job as coaches to put the best guys out on the field that can give us the best chance for success.
Well, and when you look at the box score, it seems like you've got a lot of those guys. Just a couple that really jump out and run the football you guys did, as we talked about. 2 guys over 100 yards, Lionel Willis and Ricky Adanya, 102 and 190 respectively. And then, of course, Colin Shaw, like you talked about, another 100-yard receiving game on 4 receptions. Just continues. And lastly, 11 receivers. caught balls. And that I think that speaks to depth, doesn't it?
It does, and then the fact that we want to try to be balanced. When we say balanced offensively, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to rush for 200, throw for 200. Our balance for us means trying to get the ball in as many people's hands as we possibly can and provide them with different looks formation-wise and what we hope presents problems for defenses. And so when you get ready to play us, if you have that many guys touching the ball, then the defense can't say, okay, we got to – obviously Shaw, they know that he can do some great things and we've got to cover that guy. But then if you have the others that can come in and do some things as well, it presents problems for opponent in their defense.
Well, you bet. Well, let's watch a few of those highlights right now at creating some problems for that visiting team.
Yeah, go ahead. I wanted to try to establish the run early, and you can see this just the Brown for us, which is just just basically our lead play and on backers here. And Ricky Ladonna doing a great job, so you can see establish that different ways to run it and hopefully win it at the point of attack. You can see right here, and Ricky does a great job. He's a guy that runs behind his pads really well and with great speed. Tremendous job here on the turnover. Had a couple in the game here. This was one, then we had another one on special teams. But a great recovery there. And again, Colin Shaw doubled all night pretty much, but a great catch by this guy. He's just such a great route runner. Just a tremendous possession type receiver. Does have some speed about him. He might get offended if I say possession all the time. Reverse here to Sean Franks, one of our speed guys, and we're still working on trying to get these guys to be full speed all the time. Sometimes we're looking for creases and need to get on and go. You can just do a lot with motion to try to make it difficult on people. And this is a great run here by Ricky. You can see the speed and explosiveness that he has. And I'm sure he didn't want to fall down on that track back there, ran out of turf, but he's a tough kid. That's our glide tempo here. What we're looking to do is just, we'll get the play after looking at the defense and have a play called, have an opportunity to check the play if needed. Good catch here by Anthony Mariello. He's a junior, plays wide receiver for us, running back, also possible quarterback for us. And get a blitz look here. It looks like maybe guys are coming. Some guys off the edge. Good job getting the ball out of his hand. Again, great catch by Colin Shaw. This little in route here. Same good throw and catch.
Shaw finds a way to get open, doesn't he?
He surely does. He just runs great routes. Good job here. One better jobs we did all night of run fits. That's what when we talk about run fits, where people need being where they need to be. Big tight end. Glad to get him back. Like I said, he missed last week. This is right before the half. We had a great drive right before the half. One that was huge for us and able to get down the field and put some additional points on the board, and I think at that point take maybe a couple of touchdown lead, and that was big. It felt like, again, with the talent they had. I feel like Naaman's got a really good team. They're playing tough non-district schedule. But just a great job here. I mean, you can see all the coverage. He's doubled up here, and Colin Shaw is a great throw by Mario, but also just a great catch by him. And so he's a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, we're glad to have him. He was our leading receiver a year ago as a junior, and it's big to have a guy like that back. Helps a quarterback new to the position for sure. Just our outside zone, just some good cuts here by Ricky. Again, you can see the speed. And tremendous job by our guys downfield, blocking. One of the areas we got to improve upon is penalties. We're tied now with 16 for us, 16 for our opponent. We had more than Naaman the other night. Had some sloppy penalties. Armando Navarez is our kicker, done a much better job with placement of the ball this week. This was just a little sky kick that they didn't field, and Austin Corbett, who's a sophomore, starts the inside backer. Great job there in recovering that fumble for us.
So, Coach, we move on this week, get a tough Richardson-Berkner team, and I looked at a few things with Berkner, and, of course, they're coming off a 48-19 win over North Garland. And of course, Berkner, when you talk about Berkner, usually associated with running the ball and good hard-nosed running attack. I did notice they had about 250 yards passing this last week, so it sounds like they've got a little other option that maybe they've installed. And not to say they haven't been able to throw the ball in years past, but that just kind of jumped out at me as far as they had more yards passing than they did rushing last week.
Yeah, they did. I was there at that game, and they did a great job. They've got some speed on the edge with their receivers in number 3 and number 11, and Jedediah Lewis, their quarterback, is a great athlete. He's what makes that team go. He was a tremendous player last year for him, so he's a threat to go to the house or go to the distance anytime, either running the ball, and what he showed me the other night with his arm is he's very effective as a passer as well. So a lot of their deep routes or deep balls were just go routes or fly, streak, whatever you want to call it, and fade routes, and able to hit those guys in stride. And so again, they present a lot of problems for us. They stubbed their toe a little bit the first week against I believe South Garland. But last week, righted the ship, and just a very proud program over there. Coach Ledford and his staff do a great job. Coach Handel with the defense, and they've been a program that's been in the playoffs for a number of years. They were in there last year, and so it's a great test for us. It's the second of our third week to be on the road, and so our guys, this week our focus is just to be fast and finish. We talk about starting fast and finishing strong, but really those two things relate. We feel like, Chris, to every play. You got to play fast, play hard, but then you also need to finish each play, and so. We've done that at times the first 2 weeks, but it's going to be real important that we do that this week against Richardson-Berkner because they've got a good football team.
Well, and I know you can't wait for Friday to get here. I've still got a little bit this week as far as preparation, but I know talk about that stretch of you're in a little bit of a stretch of away games, and I know the crowd was out in full force, band and everybody last week, and want to encourage them to come out in full force again this week. 7:30 at Richardson-Berkner. That's going to be at Wildcat Rams Stadium. Come out and support your Panthers. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks.